CTV News with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in St. Thomas, where civic leaders have just learned providing water needs to the new PowerCo plant will cost about $400 million. As CTV's Brian Bicknell tells us, they are worried it could sink municipal finances.
It's a water bill that no one anticipated.
We would need to double the capacity of the plant, and that's about a $400 million investment that we just didn't plan for because we weren't expecting it for another 30 years.
The Elgin Area Water Board has written to the Ministers of Economic Development and Environment expressing financial concerns. According to Regional Water Director Andrew Henry, the latest water use forecast for the PowerCo plant under construction in St. Thomas is 20 million liters per day, up from the initial forecast of 13 million in 2023. What it means is a water system upgrade to the tune of $400 million is required, and for it to be done decades sooner than planned.
The PowerCo is about 20% of the existing capacity is what they're looking for. And while we could supply PowerCo in the very short term, the other industries that are coming shortly thereafter, we're going to be struggling to make sure that we have enough water for them.
Elgin Water Board Chair Pete Barber says the only source of revenue is the water rate. So member municipalities would likely end up taking out long-term debt.
For a smaller municipality to take on significant debt may impact their ability to do other projects, to do roads, sewers, buy a fire truck.
Right now, London is the largest of 8 municipalities to take water from this plant, making up about 50% of what comes out of this site and absorbing 50% of the cost. But that could soon change with the addition of PowerCo and other industries.
Theoretically, they could be saddled with a $200 million debt. Should PowerCo go ahead with their expectations of water consumption, that 50% could conceivably be shifted to St. Thomas.
In a statement to CTV News, PowerCo said, in part, as we build this generational project, we're working closely with our municipal and regional partners to ensure these communities continue to thrive sustainably. This includes support for infrastructure such as water system upgrades. In Elgin County, Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
One of the world's oldest ballparks is about to get a makeover. St. Thomas City Council has to decide what to do with the historic grandstand at Emsley Field after staff deemed it unsafe. Brent Lale reports.
The 87-year-old grandstand at historic Emsley Field needs an overhaul. With cracked concrete, roof joists, and steel beams damaged, St. Thomas City staff have closed it until repairs ensure public safety.
It has heritage to it. It has accessibility to it. It has a lot of things and reasons why we have to look at it. But it's also a budgetary concern.
A report to council said the grandstand will cost $800,000 to repair or $1.2 million to tear down and reconstruct. Some councillors threw out some ideas.
What if we used Emsley Field for more concert? We used Emsley Field for other revenue pieces too. Is there a chance for sponsorship?
With no longer any inter-county baseball teams in the city, minor baseball is the main tenant. They'd like a seat at the table when discussing its future.
Certainly our preferred option is to maintain the existing grandstand, but there are parks around Lacoste Park in Windsor, as well as parks in Sarnia. They have some really nice grandstands that are newer, more modern, but the historic side of that big grandstand is sort of what we would be looking for. If there would be a way to incorporate some new seating into it, that would be a great add to any project.
When we build an arena, we certainly go to the hockey folks and say, what are you doing? How are you doing? We build a huge soccer complex like our One Password Park. We talked with the soccer folks. Let's make sure everybody who has an opinion gets it in. We're looking at a way to collect feedback and do public consultation better without it taking months.
The decision on what to do with one of the oldest ballparks in Canada will be part of the budgetary process next month. Brent Lale, CTV News.
Residents in Old North are mobilizing to help find solutions to traffic concerns they say are growing quickly. Jerry Dewan has more.
It was June, and a crossing guard was standing on the sidewalk near the intersection of St. James and Coburn when a collision in the intersection sent a car careening in her direction. She was sent to hospital and hasn't been able to return to work.
It really galvanized people to work together, and that's why our group came together to advocate and work with the city.
Teresa McClellan has come together with other Old North residents to form ACTION, which stands for Advocates for Calmer Traffic in Old North. One of their first acts was to conduct a survey, getting input on the traffic issues in the neighborhood.
We got 235 people from the community responding that really kind of showed that we have really overwhelming consensus. There is a problem.
They point to higher traffic volumes on the main thoroughfares, which leads to more cut-through traffic. They feel that also creates impatience, more aggressive driving, and higher speeds. They've identified areas of concerns and some possible solutions. As an example, there are a series of four-way stops along Coburn, but that's not the case at St. James. The ACTION members say consistency may be a key.
We have ideas in mind, but we're not a team of traffic engineers, and we know we need to eventually work with the city toward implementing true solutions.
The survey showed, there's an overwhelming sense of a lack of safety. Everybody here, it's palpable, and that's only going to get worse.
McClellan also believes traffic ballers like the ones just a block away at St. James and Waterloo may have protected the crossing guard.
We know the community is very eager for action, and we're hearing that and we understand that, but we do want to make sure that we don't do anything, too quickly without thinking it through thoroughly, and that there's unintended consequences with that.
The city is about to launch the Old North Traffic Management Study and have hired a consultant to gather data and get feedback.
We're going to be putting up a Get Involved website to allow people to provide feedback through there, as well as get updates on the study. We're creating a feedback forum so people can provide information that way, and there's actually a lot of ongoing correspondence we're already having with members of the community as well.
A meeting to give the community insights on the analysis will take place in the new year. While specific modifications may take time, Grady says everything is on the table.
There's lots of different things that it could and may include, but I certainly expect some traffic calming measures in there. There could be things that limit certain turning movements and other measures that might help mitigate some of that cut-through traffic.
And Grady says ultimately every driver should make public safety their top priority. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Those who put food on our tables came together today with the goal of improving our local food supply. Here's CTV's Sean Irvin.
In this room are some of the people responsible for what's on your dinner plate. They are farmers, politicians, activists, academics, and agri-food business leaders. All are here at the request of the Middlesex London Food Policy Council.
What we want to do is understand better, from their point of view, what would it take to really improve resilience in the sectors to ensure that more people are getting fed by healthy, locally sourced, resilient food.
Improving access to fresh food for those facing hardship is only part of the mandate. The group is out to listen to everyone, from food entrepreneurs to those putting seeds in the ground. All get a chance to be heard.
It's more than supporting our farmers, it's befriending our farmers and understanding what their needs are as friends.
This panel of farmers representing a spectrum from large acreage to community fields found common ground on the challenges of feeding the region. Each is grappling with affordable ways to grow organically and sustainably.
As a farmer myself, supply chains are really challenging when you're on a small scale, trying to get your local food products into the city.
But through newfound cooperation, political leaders have confidence.
Like with anything, there's some silos, and I think we need to break those down and see how we can work together to have a more integrated food system that everyone can access.
But will the ideas jotted down here translate into more food for all of us?
We're feeling optimistic that good change is possible when we put our heads together.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Mission Services of London is hoping shoppers will help scan away hunger this holiday season, one meal at a time. CTV's Nick Paparella reports.
For the 31st year, Mission Services wants Londoners to give. This season, they'd like you to add $4.49 to your grocery bill. It will buy a meal for someone in need in our community.
All of the donations to the Scan Away Hunger campaign go to Mission Services of London's Emergency Shelters and Addiction Treatment Center. So it goes to our men's mission, which is our 111-bed emergency shelter for men, our Roth Home Family Shelter, which serves up to 20 families at a time, and Quinton Warner House, our addiction treatment center for men, which is 4 months long, and a live-in program.
During the 6-week campaign, Scan Away Hunger is hoping to collect more than $200,000.
Mission Services of London is always working to meet need at the point of need in our community, however that may look like. So when you donate to Scan Away Hunger, you're coming alongside us and also individuals, families, men, women, and children who are experiencing homelessness in the London area.
This time around, donations can be made at 4 London locations, including Remart, Tremblett's or Drew's Your Independent Grocers, or the Mission Store on York Street. You can also give online.
Yes, giving online has been really popular for Scan Away Hunger in recent years. So if you just go onto our website, you'll find that there's a page there for Scan Away Hunger, or there's a Give Now button up in the corner, and you can make your donation there.
The Scan Away Hunger campaign is on now until December 17th.
The need is great right now. We see that every single year. So that's why campaigns like this, Scan Away Hunger, are so important for us. Mission Services of London serves up to 500 meals per day across our emergency shelters and addiction treatment centers. So Scan Away Hunger is very helpful for us year-round.
Nick Paparella, CTV News.
Fire officials are setting the record straight about a house explosion in Perth County on Halloween. Around noon, fire crews were called to an explosion and fire at a home in Fullerton. Crews arrived to find significant damage to the residence with visible signs of an explosion and a small fire. Once the fire was put out, investigators determined the explosion came from inside the home and was related to the propane fuel distribution system. They say the explosion was not intentional or criminal and was an isolated incident. No one was home at the time of the explosion. London police have charged 8 men following an online sting targeting people looking for sexual services. Undercover officers posed as minors during the 2-day operation last week. Police say the suspects knew the person they were communicating with was under 18. All 8 accused have been released with future court dates. Police are searching for a suspect wanted in connection to a serious West London assault. They say early Tuesday morning, a man entered a woman's home in the Oxford and Fiddler's Green Road area. According to police, the suspect woke the woman, assaulted her, tied her up, and threatened her with a knife. Police say the woman escaped the home later that night and ran to a nearby home. She was treated for injuries. A child in the home at the time was not hurt. Police say the suspect and victim know each other. 42-year-old Tandat May of London has been charged by way of warrant with a long list of charges. A routine hockey game turned into a life-threatening emergency for a local teenager who is now sharing his story to help raise awareness about a life-saving training. CTV's Rita Ismail has more on Stop the Bleed.
This is the moment when a routine hockey game quickly turned into a parent's nightmare. 14-year-old Tyler Thorpe suffered a life-threatening injury on the ice.
Tried to get the puck and both our centermen just fell and the skate came up and just cut me. It was a really scary moment. I was cut right here, and then when they were doing my surgeries, they had to open this up because the tendon moved down.
I saw all the blood and Tyler, and it was very scary, very scary.
Luckily for Tyler, the trainer for the opposing team was Dr. James Menlove, an emergency medicine physician from St. Thomas Elgin General Hospital.
He put pressure on my wrist and didn't take pressure off the whole time. So he did it when I was in the change room and he kept pressure when I was moved to the hospital.
Life-threatening bleeding can be fatal within 4 to 5 minutes if not controlled. That's why London Health Sciences Centre's trauma program offers Stop the Bleed, a free community training program that teaches the public how to manage severe bleeding before paramedics arrive.
I think Stop the Bleed is one of the most important programs that we do. Major life-threatening bleeding happens outside the hospital all the time. We are able to train and teach people who have no medical background in about an hour to an hour and a half using the Stop the Bleed program to control life-threatening bleeding.
Tyler has since undergone 2 surgeries at LHSC's Children's Hospital to repair his injuries and is now recovering well and continues to play hockey.
Thankfully, we did have a doctor there taking good care of Tyler. But what if we didn't?
After Tyler's injury, his hockey team's coaches and trainers completed the Stop the Bleed program. His mother hopes more sports teams will follow.
I have contacted London Junior Knights, I have contacted Alliance and Hockey Canada and told them about the program. I am hoping that every organization will take this on.
LHSC says as a priority they have identified fundraising to support having Stop the Bleed kits available everywhere there is an AED. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
A tentative labor deal has been struck between a local school bus operator and its drivers. First Student Owen Sound and the union representing 105 school bus drivers came to an agreement that avoids a looming strike, which could have started as early as Monday. Wages and unpaid work at the forefront of the conversation, but a deal has not yet been made for school bus drivers in Kincardine. 42 school bus drivers in the area could be walking the picket line unless a deal is struck before Monday. Meanwhile, a former MP has been appointed to the London Police Service Board by the province. Mike Wallace represented the riding of Burlington from 2006 until 2015. He has also served on Burlington City Council. Wallace will be sworn in on November 24th. Following 2 years of service cuts, the Durham Hospital is adding 3 new healthcare services. Beginning this month, an outpatient cardiology clinic will be opening in the hospital, supported by 2 doctors from the London Health Sciences Centre. Pediatric mental health services will also be coming to the Durham Hospital this month, and in the new year, a hip and knee replacement clinic will also begin. This comes after the hospital saw all 10 of their inpatient beds move to neighboring hospitals in June of 2024, and their emergency department hours cut in March. The municipality of West Grey declared a municipal state of emergency following the healthcare cuts, but has since revoked it. Coming up, tears on a BC ostrich farm after court rejects appeal to save the flock. Canada's main stock index was down as the technology sectors tumbled. In Toronto, the TSX lost 235 points, and in New York, the Dow fell 399, while the Nasdaq dropped 446. The Canadian dollar added a modest 0.02 of a cent today, and on commodity markets, gold fell almost $2 an ounce, and oil lost 17 cents a barrel. The federal Conservative Party is losing another MP. Alberta Conservative MP Matt Genereux is resigning as a member of Parliament. In the statement, he does not elaborate on why he is resigning. His resignation from Parliament comes one day after Genereux shut down speculation that he may be considering crossing the floor to the Liberals. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court says it will hear appeals in a challenge of the Saskatchewan government school pronoun law. The law prevents children under the age of 16 from changing their pronouns or names at school without the consent of their parents. Premier Scott Moe's government invoked the charter's notwithstanding clause in the 2023 legislation. A Regina LGBTQ2S+ group says the rule causes harm to gender diverse youth. The government argues parents should be involved in their children's decisions at school. Earlier this year, the Saskatchewan Court of Appeal ruled the group's challenge can continue. A bit of a scare today during a White House announcement on weight loss drug prices for Americans.
But today you okay?
Gordon Finley, an executive with Novo Nordisk, collapsed during the Oval Office event. The news conference quickly ended and reporters were escorted from the room. President Trump later saying that Finley was fine and getting doctors' care.
Good evening. It's cool out there, but the temperatures will start to warm overnight in advance of our next low pressure system, and that brings us some rain for your Friday. Thanks so much, Courtney Reed, for this photo of Tulo again. Doesn't get much better than this. Dogs in costumes are going to keep them coming. 6 degrees in the morning. It'll be 7 degrees as we move towards about 10 o'clock. Winds out of the south-southwest and gusty winds expected across the region. I'll have all your local forecast details in just a few minutes.
Julie Atchison joins me on the desk now. Julie, I know I said I was looking forward to the colder fall temperatures, but knowing that snow is on the way, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think I miss the warmth.
Yes, I definitely think transitioning into this weekend, people are going to think, are we into winter? What's going on out there? But yes, we have snow in the forecast, and the low pressure area that will arrive on a Sunday brings a rain-snow mix with the possibility of accumulating snow in through parts of Huron, Perth, and Grey Bruce. Now, it'll depend on the trajectory of this low. If it even shifts a bit further north or south, that will change, of course, the precipitation type. 7 degrees are high, 3 degrees are low on the cool side across the region, but temperatures overnight will not be dropping any cooler than they are right now. We'll see the temperatures start to climb. And over the next few hours, the temperatures will quickly jump. Low pressure system on the move. This low will draw in the warm air, and that's why the temperatures will start to rise overnight. As the low goes into northern Ontario, it'll bring some snowfall with it. It'll be the frontal system that comes in for us tomorrow on the mild side with rain and gusty winds. Now, winds through the day out of the southwest, 30 with gusts of 50. The fronts will cross and the cool air will follow from the northwest, so that cool prairie air arrives. Some Arctic air on the way for the weekend. So here's the rainfall tomorrow morning, Lauren, and then as we head into the afternoon, we could see a break behind the fronts. The cloud cover, though, will quickly fill back in. We'll still leave in a chance for some light drizzle, risk of showers. Heading into Saturday, mainly cloudy. That's just the cold air coming in. No big weather system, but Sunday, that's when the next low pressure area arrives. Now, Environment Canada warning there is the potential for this to produce some snowfall, especially through Grey and Bruce County and then east of Georgian Bay. So if you're heading north of Toronto this weekend or towards eastern Ontario, there is the potential for some snow accumulating. So we could see the first snow of the season, definitely the risk of some flakes even in London. Temperature heading into the afternoon, 11 degrees. Southwest winds, as I mentioned, 30 with gusts of 50. Let's take a look at some of these rainfall totals as we'll push those numbers up. Now, this isn't a significant system, but enough to bring us about 5 to 10 millimeters of rainfall. As we go through the next 7 days, I don't think you're going to love this trajectory. We're down to 7 degrees on Saturday, +3 on Sunday. Rain snow mix expected in London, and then Monday about a 40% chance of a rain snow mix. That's the cold air that follows. The Arctic front pushes through, that generates lake effect snow. And then as we head into Remembrance Day, 3 degrees, mainly cloudy. It'll be cold and raw. 6 degrees on Wednesday and overcast, and then day 5. Risk of a rain snow mix depending on the timing of day 5, though, because in terms of our temperature getting to 5 degrees, we'll see the flakes quickly turn to drops of rain. Midwestern Ontario, rain and gusty winds tomorrow morning. In the afternoon, overcast. It'll be mild to start. And then as we head into your Saturday, a cool down at 6. 2 degrees with rain or snow. Likely Huron and Perth, you'll see mixed precipitation. Grey and Bruce, you'll likely pick up the snowfall. As we head into Monday, Tuesday, flurries and gusty winds, lake effect snow possible early next week. We are going to be keeping a very close eye on this cold air that's coming in terms of off-lake bands of snow with accumulation. 4 degrees by Wednesday, and we'll hit +5 with the chance for some mixed precipitation heading into Thursday night. Change is underway. By the weekend, we're going to be talking winter-like conditions across southern Ontario.
Thanks for that, Julie. A BC ostrich farm has lost its legal fight to stop the mass cull of hundreds of birds. The Supreme Court of Canada has decided to decline the farm's appeal attempt to save the flock. Here's CTV's Judy Trin on the ruling and reaction.
You want to know what pain looks like, Canada? The end of a saga that began last December when dozens of birds died on the Universal Ostrich Farm. She's going to lose everything she's ever loved for 35 years. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency found traces of H5N1 in 2 dead birds and ordered the flock to be culled to contain the virus. The farm fought the order to the Supreme Court, which dismissed the case.
We obviously are pleased to see the decision of the Supreme Court. This is a decision that is following the science and evidence.
More than 300 birds will now be euthanized. Virologists say testing the birds is not an option.
We don't know where the birds might be shedding virus if they are indeed still infected. These are 7 to 9 foot tall birds that are very strong, very fast, very dangerous to people.
Under the Health of Animals Act, the CFIA can now move ahead with depopulation and disposal and warns that attempts to obstruct the work of its officers could result in prosecution. Dozens of protesters continue their march.
Today you test our faith like you've never tested our faith before.
Praying for a change of heart. The farm was supported by members of the Trump administration, including Secretary of Health Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Chief of Medicare Dr. Mehmet Oz. An American billionaire also contributed $50,000 to the farm's legal fight.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency left unchecked. It's steamrolling our agricultural sector.
The aim of the culling order, or the stamping out policy that CFIA is carrying out, is to protect trade and contain the outbreak. It's a policy that numerous nations have signed on to. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Finally for us tonight, it may be the most famous pull-out couch in the country, and now it's on display for Toronto Blue Jays fans to try for themselves. CTV's Jessica Smith explains.
Was Barger on your couch last night?
He was, yeah.
The night before one of the biggest games of his career, Blue Jays outfielder Addison Barger crashed on teammate Davis Schneider's pull-out couch at the Marriott Hotel attached to the Dome.
He was staying with Miles and then stayed with me last time. My girlfriend's here, so he was like, "I sleep in the bed with you guys?" And I was like, "No, sleep on my couch. Sleep in the pool. It's a pull-out, yeah."
We did have a room for him. That's the irony of this whole thing. And he didn't want to sleep alone, before a big game.
After a grand slam in the 6th inning of Game 1 of the World Series, the lore of the pull-out couch lives on. Now on display in the hotel lobby, with fans flocking in to have a seat.
Is that the couch? No.
With the whole momentum, we're still carrying it with us, and we're talking about a couch. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's a pretty special story.
And as far as how comfortable it is,
it was squeaking all night.
Cover the back. Pull-out couches are the most uncomfortable thing imaginable.
It was so funny. I looked over and I just see him just sleeping there and in the middle of the night, and he's a head case, but he's funny.
Well, I think he got a great sleep. I think that's the secret sauce here. He clearly really enjoyed his stay. And again, he looks so relaxed in that picture. It's unbelievable. He's just doing his thing and hit one of the biggest home runs in Blue Jays history the following day.
Giving a whole new meaning to the phrase, big comfy couch. The couch will be here in the lobby on display until November the 14th. Then the hotel says they're not sure if they're going to keep it here on display, auction it off for charity, or put it back in its original room. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
Certainly looks comfortable. That's our time tonight. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Lauren Stallone. Have a good night.